Some of you may find it hard to be thankful during the holidays, especially if it feels like nobody has answered your prayers. And that may be true if you lost a loved one. A KELOLAND woman turned author knows exactly how that feels, but she wants to help you look at prayer a little differently. KELOLAND's Brady Mallory introduces you to her and shows you how she found hope in the least likely place.
Dear Ariane, it is tempting for all of us to measure God's blessing in some type of tangible way.
Most of us pray looking for answers, and we desperately want that answer to be yes.
Looking at the good gifts as signs of His love and favor, and to quote answered prayers as evidence that God really is listening and that we somehow changed His mind in midstream.
These words, a prayer, come from someone very special to Ariane Braithwaite Lane.
As always, Dad.
Her dad taught her how to pray and how to live.
So,
when he wasn't helping heal the sick, Dr. Tom Braithwaite was running. He turned to the sport after battling cancer for the better part of a decade.
he was the one who got me into running.
Here's Tom in 2013, running a half marathon to celebrate a successful bone marrow transplant, a journey he shared with us for several years. He finished the race, and the whole day seemed like a beautiful metaphor.
Since I was diagnosed with cancer back in 2003, in my logbook I have almost 9,000 miles of running. And there's been a lot of ups and downs in that. But, today, these 13 were just the most extraordinary.
We all thought Tom finally had the ultimate trophy. He outran cancer.
Our hope had been at that point that finishing the race of cancer was done, and that things would be of good health from that point on, and they weren't.
A year later, Tom died. Ariane channeled the whole experience into writing prayers, and now she's published a book called Ash and Starlight, Prayers for the Chaos and Grace of Daily Life. One of her last moments with Tom inspired the main title. She was about to bring her first child into the world, just as her dad was leaving it.
One of my hands is holding his fingers as he's taking his last breaths on earth. And then my other hand is feeling my pregnant belly with this little baby that's kicking with new life. And it's literally the holding together of death and life and my greatest sorrow and my greatest hope in that singular experience.
The book is about just that, and Ariane, a pastor, has written prayers for just about everything. She wants it to comfort others in their darkest times, and she hopes they see prayer as a way to better understand every moment, light and dark, ash and starlight.
It's simply being aware and paying attention to what's in this present moment, and really being in awe of that and being grateful for that, and being able to mine, even in the painful areas of our life, opportunity to break open and become more authentic, and to recognize that God is in that.
Tom Braithwaite taught his daughter, Ariane, how to pray.
I think we can take even the darkest moments in our lives, the times that are the most challenging, the times that really cause us to face our deepest fears, the fears of death, the fears of loss of connection and what you might miss out. And I think that you can use that as a way of achieving good. At least that's our hope and prayer.
His pilgrimage was in and of itself a beautiful prayer, one that would later birth Ash and Starlight for me.
And now, through her own words, Ariane is teaching us prayer is not necessarily about getting the answer you want to the question, but rather saying yes to whichever answer you receive.
When I didn't think I had the courage or even the energy to live into a life looking nothing like it did before, something was happening. The thing I thought would break me, that did break me, is now making me.
We did it.
Brady Mallory, KELOLAND News.
Ash and Starlight is now available in local stores. You can also order it online from Amazon and Target. We've listed the links under this story at KELOLAND.com, as well as how to become a bone marrow donor.